I welcome you all today, the 26th of June 2025, as we observe International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking under the theme Breaking the Chains, Prevention, Treatment and Recovery for All. I welcome you all in the name of Prodigal's Home and all the collaborating stakeholders. Today, as we celebrate this International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, I hope and believe that every one of us present here and everyone who has come from different walks of life will learn something and take something with you.
It's such a privilege to stand here to give a brief welcome note on this very important day of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking with the theme Breaking the Chain, Prevention, Treatment and Recovery for All. I, on behalf of the Prodigal's Home family and all the collaborating partners, Department of Social Welfare, Narcotics Control Bureau, and court comprises of the key stakeholders here in the department. District administration is here and all the departments within the narcotics committee. So on behalf of the collaborating partners, I stand here to say a welcome note. There are lots of speeches lined up, so I will not take much time, but taking the opportunity to give this welcome note, I want to welcome each and every one of you on behalf of the collaborating partners on this very significant day. Fight against drug abuse and illicit trafficking is not just a one-day affair or few hours affair. It's a 24/7 affair, and we know it. We're running a rehab center and we know it's a struggle for many families across Nagaland, for many young people, for families, for people who are struggling with alcohol and other drugs. We know it's not just a disease, but it's a warfare against the enemy to humanity. So every one of us who are here, from the government departments, from the churches, from the NGOs, from the media, from other like-minded organizations, from the civil societies, from the educational institutions, we are all here because we know that we have a role to play. It's not just the role of a department or an organization, but it is the role of each and every one of us. Every single individual matter in the fight against drug abuse in our society. For the last so many years, we have lost many of our loved ones. Many of us, I don't think there's not many family left untouched by this menace of drug abuse and addiction in our society. So every one of us are affected in one way or the other. And if all of us are affected, it is the role of each and every one of us to fight against this menace. And today we're here accepting the fact, accepting the responsibility that we all have a role to play. And it is my belief and trust that all of us sitting here will go back with a new thought, with a new conviction, with a new burden in our heart that we will all have a role to play. Let us not just leave it to a department or to an organization or to an individual, but each of us, we have a role to play. So I, on behalf of all the collaborating partners, welcome each and every one of you here. We have invited selectively, very intentionally, we have selected and invited each and every one of you because we know that you can help us, you can strengthen our hands in fighting against this menace. So with that, I welcome each and every one of you, and we hope, as I said, we hope we go back with a burden, a bigger burden and a more concerned burden in our heart, so that every day, it's not as I said, it's not just one day or few hours, but every day we can fight against this battle. And so, with God on our side and with the burden for our society, that our zeal and energy and commitment to protect our children from drug abuse, our young people who are at risk, families who are at risk will be protected because we are here today, and families who are already struggling will have an easier struggle because we are here today as a collective body of different individuals, but with a single commitment, with a single conviction that we are here to fight this menace, and we will not let this substance of abuse rob our children, our young people, our family of the peace, love, and the well-being of our society and our families here in Nagaland. So with that, I welcome you all once again, and God bless each and every one of us here for being here, and let us continue to create the impact, not just today, but all the days that is ahead of us. And once again, God bless each and every one of you for being here, and God help us in our mission and zeal to fight against this substance abuse. Thank you, and God bless.
A very pleasant afternoon to you all. My name is Timti Iyer, and this afternoon I'm very, very glad to share this platform on behalf of Dimapur District Users Network. I am also one of the members in the collective leadership, and hence we are all dispersed today in various other programs. So I'm here to share my personal views and some of the observations that I have made over the years. Today, which is also known as the World Drug Day, as officially declared into International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, which was passed by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 1987. And ever since then, globally, it has been recognized that drug abuse and illicit trafficking is one of the main global issues that has been plaguing the community, the society at large. If we look over these years, I think from 1987 till 2025, we have come a long way. But also, as this special day has been recognized globally, this is the reason why people like me and well-wishers like you and people who are service providers get the platform to address issues that are common, which can be solved. Any issues that is there when 2 or 3 or more people are seated together, then those issues can always be solved, whether at the global level, national, or in the local level. Now, what I want to see and what I just want to explain or share my views is on the theme. This year we have breaking the chains, prevention, treatment, and recovery for all. Another one that was inserted was the evidence is clear, invest in prevention. Now, breaking the chains, when I look at the context of Nagaland, I may be a little bit negative and sarcastic. Or we addicts, we tend to be a little bit fatalistic in our own ways. But that is one of our strengths. In the last 40 years or so, this we have seen in the 80s, mid 80s. I honored to be one of the first generation of drug users and also a survivor. So we have seen addiction rising up without awareness. Nobody knew the consequences. Nobody knew anything. And everyone or anyone found were just dumped in jails. Traditional laws were used. And our pro-political movements, Naga political groups, used their guns to harass, and then a lot of our friends died in that way. And if it was a natural cause, then we would say somebody who has died of overdose. Now, in these last 40 years, what we have seen is a repetition of cycle that is total ignorance, denial, and silence. Every year this is celebrated. I remember in 1994 going to there was no DGP, there was only IGP in Nagaland. We were there, I was also in a rehab. We went to Kohima and then we sang a song, Jesus is a wonderful savior, in the IGP's room. A conference hall as small as this one. Now, I remembered from that time till today, it has been going on and on and on and on. But what we see from this theme is these two messages come together with one clear truth. Prevention starts with awareness. How can we prevent when there is no awareness? When there is no information, how can we prevent? In fact, I should say the theme is also a little bit wrong. It is short of the target. When there is no awareness, when there is no information, how can we prevent? In the context of Nagaland, we will see that there are three very strong pillars. Entities that are cohesive with one another, and it is the survival of any individual.
The United Nations has come up with a very beautiful theme that implies love and compassion in this year's observation. Breaking the chains, prevention, treatment, and recovery for all. It has no punitive intentions, and it's all about care and treatment. When it comes to drug trafficking and drug abuse, they run parallel. They are two sides of the same coin. They cannot be separated. But the way we, especially the government and even the NGOs and societies, approach these issues has taken a diverse line over the years. Abuse or drug addiction is being treated more as a health issue rather than a criminal act, a criminal activity. Previously, drug addiction or consumption was considered a crime, a criminal act. And so, accordingly, even in the NDPS Act under Section 27, a punishment was prescribed for consumption. So if you were caught consuming, or if you are an addict and you are arrested, you face 1 year punishment with fine. But over the years, as I stated, there has been a significant shift from a strictly punitive approach to one that emphasizes compassion and healthcare, as is evident from this year's theme. The concept now is that addiction is not a criminal act. It is a health issue that needs a medical care and a human approach. So in line with this concept, changes were also introduced in the NDPS rules, in which Section 64A was added in about 2-3 years back. Under this act, If an addict or any addict who is charged with an offense punishable under Section 27 or with offense punishable under punishable with small quantity of drugs or the psychotropic substance, if he volunteers to undertake medical treatment in a de-addiction center, he will be immune from punishment. And on the condition that he undergoes the full treatment. So, the main objective of this Section 64A of the rules is to encourage individuals struggling with addiction to seek treatment free from legal fear of legal repercussions. So it reflects a harm reduction philosophy that views addiction as a public health issue and fosters a more supportive environment. So, as I said, addiction is not a weakness, it is a health issue. And like all health issues, it can be treated, it can be overcome, and it can be managed. The only condition is that the individual concerned has to be willing to fight his addiction. So, on that note, I express my biggest appreciation to all the residents of the home because it required a lot of courage and willpower to be here. I would like you to know that the road to recovery is not smooth and it is not about perfection. Every step forward is a progress, it is an achievement. Every day you remain sober, every minute, every hour you remain sober is a victory. And the journey to de-addiction is not only about recovery, it is about rediscovering your life. The life that you lost, the happiness, the relationships that you abandoned. It is a reconnection with your life. And you are not alone in this journey. You have loved ones, family members, and societies that care for you and believe in your ability to heal. And further, regarding Narcotics Control Bureau, as the nodal agency, law enforcement agency dealing with drug law enforcement, we not only deal with supply reduction, we also deal with demand reduction by creating awareness in schools, colleges, rehabilitation centers, and amongst other vulnerable sections. And the government, the department, is adopting a more citizen-friendly approach in this regard. And recently, it has come up with a helpline called Manas Helpline and a portal, Manas Portal. The helpline number is 1933 and the portal is like manasncb.gov.in. If you go to Google and type Manas NCB, you'll get the portal. You can call the helpline and report any drug activity that you know of. Or if you don't want to talk on the phone, you can go to the portal and give a report in writing. So please make use of that. This is to ensure citizenship participation in this fight against drug menace. And in Nagaland, we had no presence before. It was under the jurisdiction of Guwahati, NCB Guwahati Zonal Unit, and then later it was under the jurisdiction of NCB Imphal Zonal Unit. But we have established an office in this month, in June, in the second week of June. It is not fully functional yet, but our staffs are here, and hopefully it will be fully functional by next month. And especially the home, the prodigal's home. If there's anything that you need from our side, we are always willing to help. And in conclusion, to the staff, counselors, and doctors of the home, your work changes life. You do more than treat addiction. You are restoring dignity, rebuilding futures, and bringing hope where it once seemed lost. Keep fighting the good fight, and may this home continue to be a beacon of transformation and new life. Thank you.
I, on behalf of NCORD Dimapur, would like to extend greetings to you all. I don't know whether I'm the right person to speak on behalf of NCORD Dimapur or not, but since I'm here, I'll be speaking much of inclining towards NCORD activities, and for the team, I'll leave it to our team speaker. As the day suggests, it is the day against drug abuse, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. We celebrate every year on 26th of June in order to strengthen action and cooperation in achieving a world free of drug abuse. The United Nations fights against the menace of drug abuse through various bodies and mechanisms. Likewise, in India also, the government of India has adopted a zero tolerance policy against drug trafficking, and we are moving towards drug-free India by 2047 through a 3-point strategy. The first one is strengthening of institutional structure, coordination among all NCORD agencies, and public awareness campaign. And in order to achieve this policy, a mechanism called NCORD, that is Narco Coordination Center, it was formed in 2016. It aims to enhance coordination among the law enforcement agencies and other stakeholders to effectively combat drug trafficking and substance abuse in India. Later in the year 2019, this NCORD was strengthened again through 4-tier system. Two-tier system at the union level, one at the state level headed by Chief Secretary, and one at the district level headed by Deputy Commissioner of the district. Now this NCORD, it focuses on intelligence sharing, coordinated action, capacity building in order to address the challenges that is posed by narcotics and other substance abuses. In Dimapur, in the district of Dimapur, we have so many departments under the banner of NCORD, like the medical department, drugs control, tobacco control, school education, social welfare. Every departments are doing at their capacity, which is against the drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Now, I want to clear that NCORD Dimapur also committed in this fight against illicit drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Now, I will just highlight some flagship programs, like you might be aware of Nashamuk Bharat Abhiyan. It comes under social welfare, but it is also department under the NCORD. So, like it was set up in 26th June 2021. It's a flagship campaign by the Ministry of Social and Justice empowerment. Initially, 272 districts with most vulnerable in terms of usage of drugs were identified. And this identification was done on the basis of finding from the comprehensive national survey done by the ministry. So according to this comprehensive national survey, uh, it was stated that there are about 60 million drug users in India, of which a larger number of users are in between 10 to 17 years. So when we see about 10 to 17 years, mostly it's a school going only. So the school also needs to play a lot of role here.
Our first speaker, Mr. MT, he's my senior. He was like, he shone during the mid 80s and early 90s, and I followed very diligently in his footsteps. Late 90s, early 2000s, and I also completed my PhD. But to be on the safe side and to have knowledge and experience, I did my PhD not only in brown sugar, but I also accumulated other knowledges like ganja, liquor, pharmaceutical drugs, and all those things. And somehow I managed to survive. That's why I'm standing here with you. Like he said, we addicts tend to be very fatalistic and negative. But he also said that it's a plus point. So I will use that plus point. He dwelt on the schools, on the church, and on the ministry concerned with this. So I will just add on to that. Actually, I wanted to talk on the theme, but as a senior, he said he won't go beyond prevention. I was prepared for prevention, treatment, recovery for all, and beyond that also. I wanted to give you the formula for the miracle cure, but I'll leave all that since I can't go beyond my seniors. So, regarding educational institutions, I believe there are some materials dealing with drug addiction, but if all the schools could have materials dealing with this, that is, soul steering, heart touching materials regarding addiction and prevention, then I believe that would go a long way. During my school days, even I had 3 subjects in English: English 1, English 2, alternative English, and even 2 subjects in mathematics: Mathematics 1, advanced mathematics, and 3, Mathematics 2. To struggle, I have to go through, I have to cram all that into my mind, plus continue with my PhD. So it was really a great struggle. So if we could have so many subjects, I think our school board could also inculcate one on addiction and the fallout, the outcome about it. And regarding the church, my senior was a bit critical of the church. So I will follow him and try to be very critical of the church. Unlike what he says, there was a time when the churches came in waves during our struggling days. They came, but we saw in them that they were not comfortable within our group. They were just going through the motions to tick off the annual calendar. In a church, there's a calendar. This year we have to visit one rehab center. To tick that off, they came to our center. That's what I observed. They were not very comfortable. If A guy all the way from America could come to our land, to a land of savages and hate hunters, and could adapt, adjust, and become comfortable within those group of savages and transform our lives. I think it's not very difficult for the church to feel comfortable among the users community also. The users who are not savages but your own brothers and sisters, husband, wives, whatnot. The church did came. They came with pray. There is hope, power in prayer. Jesus saves. John 3:16, and they handed out a blue book containing the New Testament, plus the Psalms and Proverbs, Gideon's International Bible or something like that. I accumulated 6 or 7 of them. Each visit, I got one of that blue book. Uh, these days, those even that wave has stopped. It's not coming. I believe they are so busy in acquiring land and real estate, church building, and also I don't care because like our guys sang, now we are addressing directly. We are directly contacting Jesus to turn the wine into water again. We don't want anyone anymore. We are directly contacting the Lord to, since we cannot handle it anymore, we want the wine turned back into water again. That's what we did, that's what we sang about. And that's where we get our Josh from. And also, what I find disheartening regarding the ministry and the concerned department is that so many of you, all the beautiful bright minds, administrative officers, social renowned workers, you come together, sit under a table, and then all you can come up with are slogans: say no to drugs, drug thrills but guilds. I would rather you guys sit together and come up with schemes, with projects that involves the entire community, not only the drug users. Because you might think that recovery for all is addressing the addicts. It's not that. Recovery for all concerns not only the addict, but the entire community. Because an addict, he will come to a rehab center, and if he is really, had this urge to change, transform, then he will go out a transformed person with a much better perspective of life, with maturity. But he will be facing the same mistrust, resentment, anger from his family, from his community. So recovery for all, I believe, concerns everyone. Everyone should, the community, from the school, the churches, like my friend said, the church is an entity that reaches everyone, especially in our state. It's even bigger than the government, the church. It can perform miracles right in front of us if only the churches are willing. They should have the courage to come out from their comfort zone, raise up their hands and surrender and say, this is a new topic for us, a new field for us, so we need assistance. And the church. I'm not criticizing the church, I am criticizing the church. I have nothing personal against the church, but I have everything against the church from my using days till today. Of course, I was baptized by a church. I was too young to realize the impact of that baptism. I just went there and somebody tried to drown me. I struggled and then I came out baptized. I didn't even know the implication of that. So I guess I can be labeled as a Christian on my report card. Otherwise, I'm too far away from that life. I hardly go to a church. I can count the number of times I have been inside a church. One was during my brother's wedding. Obviously, I had to be there. And my cousin's wedding and all. Christmas and New Year too. We had to pursue our PhD, so church was totally out of the question. So during all those years, we saw, but we heard more about the churches conducting seminars on addiction and all also during our struggling days. But all the individuals who attended those were only those who used to come regularly to the church. I was one who never went to church and I was struggling with addiction. That seminar regarding addiction was for me. And if I saw a report about a seminar on addiction on that particular church, I would definitely not go. There was nobody came up to me and said, hey, this is for you, let us go together. The church, as I said, to have a tick on their annual calendar. Don't do that. You will fry and duplicate oil when you go to heaven. And going to Misa, you are going to hell. So, now, I have wasted so many of my prime years struggling with this issue. There was the rehab centers were quite new for us at that time, so we didn't even know what withdrawal was. We just got sick, we just got angry, we just got mad at everyone and everything, and we never knew that this was the outcome of it. We just wanted to have fun, but like my friend said, without awareness, how can there be prevention? So awareness should come from all angles, from the school, from the churches, from the ministry, from the concerned departments. Only then can we tackle this subject. That's all. If I stand here for too long, I tend to go on and somebody gets hurt, which I don't care about. Because I got hurt so many times and now I don't care who I hurt. The only thing is I'm still alive, and for that I'm grateful to my direct link, Jesus. Thank you so much.
Always complain against, even to the court. Anda mota ekta to what time budu khai gina hai aru ghor ke aise bole complete maki ke marta hai सब्जी की बना दिया दिले भी कंप्लेन तो बाकी तो बाबा तो आज तो अंडा बनाते कोई कहना मुद्दो खा के बोले भाटी जैसे कुछ भाटी जाएगी ना आदम जे आमा तो बदना करके ना अंडा आज भी बॉईल कर ले तो ती फ्राई कर पुराना कोबो और फ्राई कर से बोले के लिए बॉईल पुराना कोबो ले आसे तो पूरा एक तब बॉईल कोबो एक तब फ्राई करो बोल के दुईटा राखी कुछ तो बाबा है के ना anda boil diesel ke liye fry korana ko apra fry korapi diesel ke ama to na tu itu din dibi baba tu itu boil kura ola tu fry kuruba lage itu fry kura ola tu boil kuruba lage ko ama na life tea amakan life tea we have to be truthful aru ami ki ase hosa no koise kole tu hodai ami tu changes tonight will never change moi kan truthful type lagi. Earlier speaker ekta pra point na is the enemy of the best. Best is the enemy of good. नहीं अपना बाल ताकि बोले good will always fight against you to become best. So that is nature. Why there is my enemy to know because you are better, that's why good wanted to be like you, that's why he's struggling to fight against you. So itu pra anxiety নহলে itu pra kiba hobole tu nai do you are the best tu pra mankan tuma opoti kiba to potken amar la gor manbi ede again thagese I can janibo moi tu baba tu 1996 pra arase only before that moi kisai ta drug addict la moi khantam di drug saije de 1983 to drug I can Dimapurti I to Wella points na forget about others. Only be heroine to ekta ka or duita ka no inika porken round porken paisa to mukti rakina khai thake. Prana kha thaka kan to jani inika porken khai thake na Manipur hoto ti taji khai le to police pin ho dore good pin hoye thaka mani all of bhag di jabo khan hi khai aru itu all of standard ase bhag thakise ro tai kan khai kini edik ho bole thaka pi na jane tai kan pi problem ho bole pi na jane khai kina edik hoi kina bimar shur hoje sorbol la thaka kan some lucky guys few of them are alive I think so mushiro bole be aji tu ami jana tu itu website it was government undertaking long before aro baba bhoise pra director hoise ja thaka pra secretary hokina prothai ta thaka government undertaking pra or regulation prevention aro to khan linki ta khan to prachati to medanila la to possible they have struggled so much to make us better I can one struggle kurkina life ti dosra kam kurbole parapi no kurkina itu kam kurkina hide kusa prapi I can to you are fit to get award also moi bacha prai dekhi kina hai se aro tai kan logo tipi no koi moi na jane sa bata sabla ole bi poela polu tu itu I cannot prevent kurubole rebele kurubole daw dibole ku na jane do khai gano jabarasti huma ja din bor bimar pra chatai ti hala porkino pare ni kai porkin kunba to parse kunba to itia tu rehabilitation center ase very lucky aha kan tu you have to speak out the truth ekile misa bhayase bishi mangtu moi to drug addict ase ko bole mon nai re hoile pi tai tu heli bole narkena ami to na khai koi kan koi pun khan aji khai koi kan ko bole pare kini yati aise apna kan tu you are the strongest man among our people aro apna mon damur ha pra apna change ho bole ase to pun ba mon chido kan to change ho bole bin hoide itu pra अपना kan यदि आप kan तो बिशी बाल काम करसे कोई के ना इतु बाल भावना पड़ा से problem is anxiety सब मन भी थके दे सब मन भी थके आई बाबा मर के ना 280 रुपीस लेकिन जमा पर क्या है घर मन लगा घर भी नहीं कुछ जमा 2 दिन लगा तू दिवा propola tu ADC court koi kan tage dui taka to bhara kor ke BA pass hoise BA pass hoye na moila bai buni tai kan treasure ase moila ghor man bi eti ase tai they will be my witness ami tu no korle to bai bani kan tu duk pabo rendi obo khamano obo itu pura moi hi sacrifice kurbo lage koi ni ka koi duk pai ke nai se ek khali tuma khani duk pai nagi na morra tak tu duk pabo no mana tak tu problem thakbo even chief minister of Nagaland he has his own problem নহ'লে মোদী বি প্ৰব্লেম পাই আছে আমেৰিকান প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট বি প্ৰব্লেম পাই আছে মান বঢ়াই আছে এনে আৰাম পৰা সোমাই আছে নেকি প্ৰব্লেম to already it is not peace. Peace is not the absence of trouble. But it is the presence of Christ in the midst of that trouble. Hey, अपना मन दुख हुआ तो वाला तो इतु तो वाला तो खुशी तो वाला तो मन दुख ना था क्या निम्ति खुशी नहीं तो वही भी खुशी तो इतु अपना मन दुख था का जगह दी Jesus था का ही खुशी है so keep Jesus in the midst of your trouble. Amakan sathi kan makan manukan isor prabi simorong purakan sop ye dia because isor to bisimoy kan ke morong pura nimti telaga life disitu Jesus to meratam tibi tai kan na jani ke na kurshe map ji di kurshe and among his 12 disciples kini ka murshe kun bi governor se hoy ke na marana rich people hoy ke na marana kun ba tu teli para fry kurshe kun ba tu upside down hang kor ke na murshe na kun ba they are storm today obo gola amakan Christian religions to hola tu itu itu dukia manla religion ase dukpa manla religion ase ki obo pi para lada ke ase bola pi tai khan moi khan nimdi dukha para amakan life ki bhavna na pura AC hoy ke gar chola ase to amakan bhavna no pura la ghor di thake ase to na amakan pi itia thaka para ahatan di ki hobo lage itu बना के राखी ना आमी तू साथी लोग पाइसे एग्जांपल ताई ओलो ओवर स्मार्ट थाकसे ए तुम कोन आसे आमी त्या मरा होले तो मराई दिबो यादी परा जाबी ना आमी क्वे विधि तो आमी तो ब्लेसिंग आसे ना नाय वा माने कर्स आसे तालो मुंडू कुकुर दिसे ताई ब्लेसिंग आसे तो किले मानो अपना लगा प्रॉपर्टी की बात निम्ते you think that no one is there to support you no one is behind you no है तो नहीं ini का बिशी दावर कथा कॉइन खान आज खाली तय खान लगा बाचा लगा नाम पिन हुई हो से तो नाम नो को निजे लगा ट्राइब थी तू मन के फोटो खींची की ना सभी ना नागा मन के सभी ना there were a lot of people तुम्ही कोण असं कोण म्हणून अजिब तो होला तो त्याला बाचाला खबर पण ना जाना होशे मन दुख न करवी मानु के माप दिवी और तुम्हां जे की भी माप दिवी ना एंड लिव हैप्पी इतु पृथ्वी तो रोल कर থাকে तो इंचे तो ऊपर होय ऊपर 3 इंच होय तुम्हाला टाइम आइबो तो ऊपर ते आइबले ना तुम्हारा time ऊपर दिया हाथ दाम की you able the opportunity don't be a person that fortune knocks at my door when I was not at home ईश्वर तो कुन के pictures ना दिया तो नहीं है a person like me who have nothing almost I'm ashamed to say but I'm homeless but today की वजह से मैं क्लासमेट kan मैं kan के हिसाब न प्रकार मैं लोग की सेव हुआ है तो दिमाग की से कैसे आई कन दोबिन हलाती लोकल खाए के ना मुखचुर हाथे के पहला ताई कन किनका ऐसे तुला बहादुर ला किसा करके थके थे but they are inside the local wine shop one daur guri bal man thakbi last year also I have told you if you go to the opposite direction you'll never reach your destination अपना ताती जाबो कोई ने डिसीजन लेशे तो अपना चेंज होबो कोई ने डिसीजन लेशे तो and if you go to the opposite direction how will you reach your destination itu pra कित्या डिसीजन लेशे दुख पाइले भी बाल पाइले भी march forward to reach your destination. There are lots of examples like Billy Graham, Nicky Cruz, who have made a beautiful story to let other people to change. You can also do that. You can also do that. If God bless you, I was on that spot. God bless me and now I'm here. You can tell the people so that someone will change their life by seeing you. Make a person to change other people. Make a person to show an example to the other people. Don't make a person to be excusing. Truthful, truth will be good. Isor to na. Promise ka na de. Tuma tu hoday. Inje di tu babole dibo tay tu hoday fushi babole dibo ko ikne. Promise ka na. Come to the right track. Aru right track ki jajabi before it's too late. Aru I'm too late hoisha na baba. You are better than any other people if you change. You are better than any other if you march forward to reach the destination which you are thinking when you are alone. Taki ase tu jana. Hey, jagi aro apna tu wata pura kan sa kan poila tu jana manu drug khaisa tu. So li jana manu kan tu idi koi kena morshi ama kan tu na thake na kai. Heroin ekta street tea small street man thake de. Manti 25 rupees pra 50 jaise 50 pra 100 jaise हम तो खाना है साथी खान खाई थके मैं तो पैसा नहीं खाना रो ना पैसा रोल कर के ना एक टका तो ये लाओ सिगरेट फुल प्राइस निका बर्न कर के खाए इनका पर के पाछा दी ना थकले तू फुल ती काला हुआ पी इनका पर के खाए मैं भी दीक्षे तो ये मैं तो खाए itu nakha jenesa se apna pi nakha bi sadi khan ke nakha duk to pao duk to na pao patma tuman hoye geno moi pi kya pi paise apna itya agasti najaje din namrata tu man tu duk pabo khali tumi base bigna bhapna parbe man tu sob pi duk na pains na thake ase bole everybody they have their own problem. So I just wanted to remind you once again that peace is not the absence of trouble, but it is the presence of Christ in the midst of that trouble. Thank you so much.